Hello, everyone, and today is a very special day for me and a lot of other people, but mostly I feel like right now this is a game that I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time, and it's finally out. Doom came out today, Friday the 13th, another, well, really fitting day for the game, I think. But anyways, it's finally out, and along with that, I made a video some time ago talking about the customization that was available in the closed and the open beta. But since the final game's out, I decided to go over everything, and I kind of did a sort of a quick run through because, as you probably see, the length of the video is very long, and that's just me going through all the customization options. Pretty much, there's a lot going on in this. Even just I guess you could say just the multiplayer side of things. There are a lot of armor sets, although most of them, as you probably, if you're just looking at it, it's just mostly recolors. So there's usually probably 2 or 3 sets of armor per category, but they're just recolored for each one. But the way that they're doing it is you can unlock it by just playing, or you can unlock it by snap points. So as you see the top right corner and you see the prices on them, you get snap points by just playing. You play matches, you get snap points. You go to SnapMaps, you make maps, you play maps, you rate maps, you do anything with the multiplayer aspect of the game, and you get snap points. This occurs, and I wouldn't say occurs, it's not the right word, but it gathers, and as time goes on, you can buy whatever you want, really. Instead of just having to hope that you maybe unlock it, you work for it, and you will receive it, which is very, very cool to see that they took this approach with the game. Did not expect this, and I'm very, very glad that this is actually happening. So, as they were saying with the Season Pass, you're going to see a lot more of these armor sets and a lot more SnapMap items coming out. Not even exclusive to the Season Pass, it's also going to be free updates that they're bringing out as well, which is very exciting because I've been playing this game for the past couple of hours. I had to take myself off of the Xbox to make this video, and it's very, very good. I was honestly kind of debating if I shouldn't have bought it. I say about 24 hours ago. I didn't even buy the game, so I was very confused if I should or should not get it. But I'm very, very glad that I did. It's, in my opinion, it's worth the $60 just because the single player alone, I'm probably 3 or 4 hours into it, and I'm on like the second. I don't know how many missions there are, but I'm on the second or third mission because I clear the area and then I do all the secrets. There's so many secrets that are just so. It's just so refreshing to play a game like Doom. It's so refreshing to play a single-player experience like this. The first 5-10 minutes, I'll just say this much: the first 5 to 10 minutes of starting the game, phenomenal. It's just so good. But the multiplayer aspect of the game, played a little bit of it, and it's very, very fun. It's still exactly what it was when it came out. When it came out, when the open beta was the thing. Even better, of course. A lot more maps, a lot more guns, and as you'll probably see in one point of the video, there is not even just this, but in the single player aspect of the game, you can upgrade your weapons. If you were unaware of this, you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your armor. But for multiplayer, you can use, which is very interesting. I didn't think they were going to do this. I was actually kind of thinking about this while I was playing single player, is you can use the modded weapons, which means, sure, you'll have a normal weapon, right? For an example, you'll have the heavy assault rifle, but there's 2 mods for that gun. There's the tactical scope, and then there's the micro missiles, which just mean, you press left trigger and then you can shoot 6 missiles. Well, you can shoot more, but in multiplayer, I'm pretty sure it's like 6. And you can actually pick what weapon you want to use, what variants. I didn't think that was going to be a thing. That's cool. It's very, very interesting in my opinion, because usually they would kind of just be like, oh, that's overpowered, we're just going to keep it in single player. But they didn't give a fuck. They were like, you know what, this is Doom multiplayer. We're going to just pretty much put, not all of them, but a finite amount of mods for our guns into the multiplayer experience from the single player. And it's very, very, again, I'm going to say this word a couple of times in this video, refreshing to see how they're handling this game. And it just came out today, and that's crazy. Of course, a lot of people were very upset because there were no review copies, and people they were like, oh, maybe the game's bad, they're not sending out review copies, why would that be? And then they released a statement saying that they just wanted people to experience the full product as it is. And then, of course, people get, they're people, they get upset, they don't like that. But came out, and it's just being welcomed by so much positive feedback, and I'm very happy to see that this game is getting such positive feedback. And with SnapMap right now, as it stands, there's people that are making maps, and they're amazing. Like, I was on Twitter a little bit ago, and there were so many people like, hey, check this out, and you watch like a little clip of it, and it's like, the game's been out for less than 12 hours, and people are making these amazing, amazing maps. I can't even imagine what maps we'll have tomorrow, next week, in a month, the things that people will be able to come up with. Like, you can make experiences. You can make single player experiences, story driven narratives in snap maps. You can make a killer multiplayer experience. You can make a co-op experience. You can make any multiplayer map, or not map, but mode, and incorporate it in there. You can make something that's basically what you want to make. And I do want to do something like that. I'm looking very forward to actually making an experience of my own, and hopefully we'll see where that goes. But as the time is right now, time being right now, I'm going to keep on enjoying single player. I'm going to get all these secrets done. It's very interesting to see some of the secrets in the game. Actually, I'm not going to say them, but I will be posting a video tomorrow probably about all of mission 3 secrets, because that's what I did earlier today. I did almost all of mission 2, but I'm gonna go back and redo those. It's very, very it's just so good to see that Doom's back and being pretty much welcomed with such open arms, such positive response. And the way right now that people are talking about the Doom multiplayer, of course we have to see where the legs take it, as well, because a lot of people they'll play multiplayer games they'll play multiplayer aspect for these type of games, and they just don't like it because it doesn't fit their niche. But this is a different game. It's not a very common multiplayer aspect. This multiplayer aspect of video games doesn't really exist anymore. This was kind of thing that came out a very, very long time ago, and it got taken over by loadouts and customization and all these other aspects. And yes, most of that is in this game, but not to the extent that it is in but modern shooters right now, where you had perk systems and then you had kill streaks. Yes, calling out Call of Duty on that aspect, and then you just had a bunch of things that were just very, very ridiculous for maybe to put into this type of game. But they did something that made it just modernized. They let you customize your armor. They let you customize your guns with color patterns and stuff like that, just to give it your own little thing. And then the just plethora of taunts. I didn't think this many taunts were going to be in the game. I mean, I knew there were going to be taunts, but my God, that some of the taunts in this video that I've seen, and they're probably, I think, all in a humor category that I've really, really enjoyed. The humor category is probably my favorite, and I will probably just have 4 humor taunts, and that's going to be something I'm going to use every single match because they never get old. I watched about like 4 or 5 of the taunts for, I'll be honest, probably like 2 minutes straight, and they're like 10 seconds because they're just so funny to me. I don't know, they're so intriguing to see some of these that you're just like, oh wow, they actually put that in there. Like the Carlton dance, which is something that people were just like, wow, they actually did that. That's really cool to see that they would, actually do something like that. And I'm very excited that they actually did something like that. I mean, come on, it's fucking Doom, guys, But you wouldn't think that they would have all of these taunts and customization options in Doom, or even a fleshed out multiplayer experience, but they went above the bar. They did a killer single player experience so far from what I've gone through, and I can't wait to just go through it. I feel like this single player, I'm going to go through it 2 or 3 times just to get the full... what's the word for it? I guess the full appreciation of this, and I'm very, very excited to see where it goes. Of course, it's not the craziest story-driven game, but there is story there if you want it. There's a bunch of collectibles. There's a bunch of little, I forgot the name for it, but like, I guess you could just call them like, you pick up like a tablet and it has like a codex, basically, if you know what I'm talking about, and it just gives you intel on maybe some part of the map or some character or some demon or something like that, and it's very good. I like where they're going with this, and I'm very, very excited to see how much more comes out of this story mode, and to see if I don't know, maybe there's something interesting that maybe no one ever expected for it. Of course, you can't really say that much for Doom. That's just not how the game is, but it's very It followed the Wolfenstein route of things, which is cool. A lot of people... I didn't play Wolfenstein, but I know a lot of people played Wolfenstein. They didn't expect it to be good, and it came out, and it was apparently super amazing. I'll probably pick that up at some point. And this game apparently took that... It refined it. It took the Rage gameplay, and it refined it, and it made it its own. And that's very, very cool, honestly. It's very exciting to see that id and Bethesda took 2 of their last properties, and they decided... Well, these 2, one of them weren't successful. Rage wasn't that successful, but I thought it was pretty cool. I just didn't like the premise or location of the game. And they took the gameplay aspects, the smoothness of the game, the mechanics, and they put it... Well, I wouldn't say put it, but they refined it, and they kind of gave it the Doom feel and the Doom touch. And it just... I thought Rage was a cool game. And from what I saw Wolfenstein, it looks like a cool game. And they took those 2, and they put it into this. And... I wouldn't say put it again, but they refined it around what Doom is and should be, and it made... I don't even know how to describe it. It probably sounds like I'm milking the game at this point because of how much I'm genuinely appreciating this game. This game is such a pleasant surprise to me, and I cannot wait to play more. There's it's kind of crazy to go on Twitter or anywhere right now and see that people are like, I think I should pick up Doom, and how much positivity is coming out of this game, saying that this game is going to be, it's, I wouldn't say a sleeper hit, but a surprisingly good game. I guess a lot of people were expecting it to fall or fail, but that's just not what's going to happen, sadly. But it's very, very good to see that everyone's accepting this game for what it is and what it should be, which is a return to the roots, a reinvention of what it was, and play it. If me talking about this game for this long now doesn't make you think that maybe I should try this game out, I highly, highly suggest that anyone watching this video should definitely try this game out, because it's something different. It's not any other game that you're going to play right now on console anywhere at the moment. You can't just pick up another game and be like, okay, well, it's going to have these aspects. This game pretty much stands out as something of its own. It's its own thing. You're not going to find anything like this anywhere else unless you play the original Dooms. And of course, yes, that's fun and all, but this is modernized. This is the new Doom, and it's fun, man. It's some of the most fun I've had with a FPS game in such a long time. Even the story mode, again, just sucks me in, and I spent an hour just going through SnapMaps, right? I did about 3 hours of campaign. I did about 40 minutes of multiplayer. I did 3 or 4 matches, and then right after that, I did SnapMaps for an hour, which I just did the tutorial, which kind of taught me how to do lighting effects and spawn characters and a bunch of other not complicated, but a bunch of other interesting things that they're incorporating to this. SnapMaps, again, if you do decide to try the game out sometime, SnapMap is going to be this, you could basically call it Mario Maker of the game, where it's not a forge mode from Halo. It's not it can be as intricate as you want it to be, or it can be as simplified as you want it to be. You want to make something very, very simple, you could put spawners for weapons and enemies and it will spawn randomly, or you could just go to it and it has a tab that lets you click, okay, I just want this to spawn, and I just want this gun and I want this enemy, and that's it. Or you could just have it randomized, so every time you hop in, it's RNG generated. There's just something different for every single experience that you're going to have. You can make it simple, like I said. You could make it just a one building, have it be a firefight of some sorts, and bam, that's your experience. And it's cool. It's very cool to see that they're bringing either, for people like me probably, that they want to get into it because they're not like the most experienced with that type of aspect of the game, and they just want to try it out. They want to see what they can do. Or for the advanced people that maybe, again, play, Halo, they do Forged, or they play other games that give those type of map maker aspects of type of things, and they give you the most complexity that you can have. They posted something on their Twitter talking about how, you could either have it simplified like this, and then they had a photo. And like I say, like this, it was just a room full of 2 or 3 objects, and then there was like the AI type of things that I was just talking about, and then they pointed at a photo that looked like I guess you could say like a brain, where it just had all these wires going everywhere, and it was just so I wouldn't say complicated, but it was so connected in a way that if you started the map up, you'd realize, okay, I'm gonna press this button and this monster is gonna spawn. It's as simple as that, and you can do that with, again, you could do SnapMap with anything. You could do it. You can make a single player experience, a multiplayer experience, a co-op experience, and not only can you just make those and download it and share it with people, you can matchmake. There's a specific what's the word for it? There's a specific screen in SnapMap where you can matchmake, and you can pick what you want to play. You could say, hey, I want to do a co-op experience. It's going to throw you into a matchmaking server. It's going to find you people that are just looking for something, and it's going to throw you into a random map. This is insane. This is something I did not... This isn't for any game right now where you create things and then matchmake. Usually you create a map and you need friends to test it, or you need friends to play, right? No, Doom's doing something completely different, where you can just make a map, throw it up, publish it, and then start a server, and then people will hop into your game and play with you. And that's just, in my opinion, is revolutionary. It's amazing to see that this is kind of the new thing that they're bringing, and I hope that other companies adopt this. I hope that they do something with this and they make it their own flavor, they make it their own way, because SnapMaps is the way to go for creating and making maps, and getting people to play your creations. And that's just one side of the Doom. One side of Doom beyond the multiplayer and the single player experience, again, which I will be covering both aspects along with some SnapMaps. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was very, very lengthy. I just wanted to give you the rundown of everything going on, all the customization, and my opinions and thoughts so far, what I've been playing for the past couple of hours. So, again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.